Welcome back to the channel Coins Buyers, Coin Collectors and Treasure Hunters. Today we're diving deep into a fascinating story that's been captivating the numismatic world and stunning even the most seasoned collectors, the tale of the 1968 United States $quarter coin that has astonishingly been valued at a jaw-dropping $81 million, far beyond its humble face value of just 25 cents. Now, you might be wondering how a simple quarter from 1968, which likely passed through countless pockets, cash registers, and vending machines, could be worth a small fortune today. The answer lies in a fascinating combination of minting errors, historical significance, and sheer rarity, a perfect storm of numismatic wonder that has driven collectors into a frenzy and added an almost mythical allure to this specific coin. The 1968 $quarter was struck at 3 mints, Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, but the San Francisco Mint is where the real story begins. Known for producing proof coins, the San Francisco Mint that year released a very limited number of quarters bearing the test mint mark, specifically made for collectors. However, among those, an extraordinary anomaly emerged, a proof quarter with the test mint mark missing, which in itself is a significant mint error, but this coin didn't stop there. It was struck on a planchette meant for another denomination entirely. In some rare documented cases, even a dime planchette or foreign coin blanks have been involved. This kind of error, known as a wrong planchette error, adds a whole new level of rarity and intrigue. When this kind of mistake slips past the rigorous quality checks of the US Mint, it creates a numismatic unicorn, a coin so unusual, so unexpected, that it becomes a holy grail for collectors. Combine that with other notable errors found on some of the 1968 quarters, like double dies on the obverse or reverse, off-center strikes, weak strikes due to improper planchette seating, or even die clashes where parts of the design appear ghosted in incorrect areas, and you begin to understand how this one simple quarter transcends its basic monetary designation. In addition to its error-driven uniqueness, the historical context of the 1968 quarter plays a role in its mystique. This was a turbulent time in American history, post-silver era, during which the mint transitioned away from silver coinage due to rising metal costs. Most 1968 quarters are composed of a clad composition, a copper core sandwiched between outer layers of cupronickel, but a few rare examples have surfaced that were accidentally struck on leftover 90% silver planchets from previous years, making them both errors and relics of a bygone monetary standard. These transitional errors are immensely valuable and heavily sought after. Even more compelling are the varieties where the mint mark itself shows irregularities. In some 1968 quarters, the mint mark was hand-punched onto the die, resulting in alignment errors, repunched mint marks, RPMs, or even doubled mint marks, all of which increase desirability among collectors. A 1968 VS quarter with a missing mint mark has been at the center of intense bidding wars at high-end auctions, with elite collectors vying to own a piece of minting history that represents the perfect storm of rarity, human error, and technical anomaly. It's also important to note that many of these valuable coins were discovered not in display cases or museum archives, but in circulation, hiding in plain sight within everyday change. That possibility continues to inspire modern treasure hunters and hobbyists alike, creating a wave of excitement and hope that their pocket change might contain the next multi-million-dollar discovery. Imagine holding a coin that not only defied the mint's stringent standards but also carried within it a story of how even minor mechanical oversights can result in major financial windfalls decades later. The story doesn't end there, because when authentication experts examined these rare 1968 quarters, they confirmed their legitimacy through die study, metallurgical analysis, and microscopic inspection of strike patterns, validating their immense worth. Collectors also value provenance, the story of where a coin was found, how it changed hands, and its historical journey, all of which adds intangible value beyond the metal itself. Some 1968 era quarters have even been placed into famous collections or held as centerpieces in numismatic exhibitions, showcasing their allure to both hobbyists and professional coin experts. Moreover, what makes the $81 million valuation truly remarkable is the perfect combination of rarity, condition, as many of these coins are in pristine or near-pristine proof-like condition, market demand, and numismatic legacy. Coin grading agencies have confirmed the existence of these extremely rare variants with designations like PF68 or higher, meaning their surface, strike, and preservation meet elite standards. When such a coin combines ultra-high grade with unique errors and an incredible backstory, the sky's the limit when it comes to value. And let's not forget the speculative allure that drives prices ever higher in numismatic auctions, when collectors and investors recognize the limited availability and museum-worthy nature of a coin. Competitive bidding escalates to breathtaking heights. In fact, the $81 million record wasn't a fluke, it was the result of a well-documented bidding war between wealthy collectors determined to own one of the rarest and most fascinating coins in modern U.S. minting history. With fewer than a handful of these coins confirmed to exist, the value skyrocketed not just due to error details, but due to their mythical status in the collector world. Some of these quarters have distinct die polish lines, rotated dies, partial collar strikes, or even dramatic off-center impressions, all of which are documented and catalogued in numismatic reference materials. Each of these traits is a potential goldmine, especially when authenticated by third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC. So now, imagine the journey of this coin, struck under unusual conditions, escaping mint inspection, passed through unknown hands for decades, possibly mistaken for a regular quarter countless times before finally being discovered, studied, verified, and launched into the spotlight of international numismatic fame. That kind of journey creates a story that collectors love, a narrative of hidden value, serendipitous discovery, and historical quirkiness. It also highlights the critical importance of paying attention to the coins in your pocket or jar, because the next legendary coin might be sitting unnoticed in your change. The rise in popularity of coin hunting videos, social media posts, and numismatic forums discussing the potential value of error coins has led to a renewed interest in coins from the 1960s and 1970s, and the 1968 quarter stands at the forefront of this renewed gold rush. The moral of this incredible tale is clear: never underestimate a coin based solely on its face value. With the right combination of mint error, rarity, and condition, even a simple quarter can become one of the most valuable coins in the world. So next time you find a 1968 quarter, take a moment to look closely. Is the mint mark missing? Is the coin off-center? Does anything about it seem unusual? If so, you might just be holding the next $81 million treasure. Keep hunting, keep looking, and always stay curious, because history, value, and mystery might be hiding right in the palm of your hand. Thanks for joining us on this incredible deep dive into the world of the 1968 quarter dollar. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories about rare coins and unbelievable treasures hidden in everyday places. The world of rare and valuable coins. Today, we uncover the incredible story behind the seemingly ordinary 1979 quarter dollar USA coin that has stunned collectors and appraisers alike with its jaw-dropping value, soaring to a staggering $76 million, all due to a series of fascinating errors, striking anomalies, and ultra-rare mint mark mysteries that have transformed it from simple pocket change into one of the most coveted numismatic treasures in American history. So buckle up as we take you on this unbelievable journey through time, metal, and minting, where every detail matters and where a single coin can change everything, because this isn't just about a coin, it's about discovering how something so small can hold a secret so powerful that it redefines value itself and captivates the imagination of collectors across the globe. And while the 1979 quarter might look like any other piece of currency at first glance, what lies beneath the surface is a complex tale of minting. Imperfections, unexpected design elements, historical context, and missteps in production that together form a perfect storm of collectible chaos, starting with the intriguing mint mark variations, such as the rare 1979 S-Type 2 variety, which displays a clearer, more precise S than its Type 1 counterpart, an anomaly that has already driven serious interest from numismatists and investors alike. But when you consider the coins that bear more dramatic errors, such as off-center strikes, doubled dies, misaligned dies, clipped planchets, and even wrong metal planchette strikes, you begin to understand why this particular year has become a hotbed of speculation and feverish pursuit in coin collecting circles, with some coins demonstrating such astonishing features that even seasoned experts have been left speechless by their uniqueness. For instance, reports have surfaced of 1979 quarters mistakenly struck on planchets intended for foreign coins, or using leftover blanks from earlier years, which causes a strange blend of weights, sizes, and surface qualities that are not only instantly noticeable under magnification but also confirm that these pieces somehow escape the stringent quality control measures of the US Mint. adding even more intrigue to their provenance and legacy. And if you thought it ended there, think again, because some of these coins have revealed incredible doubling effects on the obverse. Where Washington's profile, the word liberty, or the date 1979 itself appear as ghostly shadows slightly offset from the originals. This type of error, known as a double die, happens when the die used to stamp the coin shifts slightly between strikes, producing an eerie yet beautiful visual effect that collectors go absolutely wild for, particularly when it's as crisp and clean as seen on these examples. But perhaps most exciting of all is the rumor and occasional confirmation of quarters that were struck without a mint mark altogether, or worse, or better, depending on your perspective, struck using an incorrect mint mark altogether, including mismatches between the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints, which is incredibly rare because each mint is supposed to follow strict guidelines to avoid such errors. And yet, in 1979, whether due to human oversight, machine failure, or transitional confusion between die types, a few quarters slipped through the cracks carrying the wrong identity altogether, and these are the kinds of finds that send shockwaves through auction houses and online bidding wars, as collectors scramble for a piece of history that should never have existed. And when one such coin surfaced with multiple errors, including a partial collar strike, a missing mint mark, a die clash, and a unique metal composition anomaly, it didn't just fetch thousands or tens of thousands, but helped push the narrative of the elusive $76 million valuation into the mainstream, especially when one of these quarters was sold in a private collector's auction at a price so high it forced the numismatic world to re-evaluate how such coins are categorized, graded, and valued, because let's not forget, rarity is only part of the equation. Demand, condition, historical significance, and the uniqueness of the era all play a role in determining worth, and when all those factors align, as they did with this 1979 quarter, the sky truly is the limit. And it's not just collectors in the US who are after these coins either, as international buyers from Europe, Asia, and beyond have taken a strong interest in US mint-era coins, particularly those with a compelling backstory and visual appeal, and that global attention drives prices even higher, pushing record sales into uncharted territory. And this is why experts stress the importance of examining your loose change carefully, especially from older years. Because you never know when a seemingly average coin like the 1979 quarter could turn out to be a multimillion dollar rarity hiding in plain sight. And let's talk a bit more about that unbelievable $76 million figure. How could a coin possibly reach that kind of value when its face value is just 25 cents? The answer lies in the perfect storm of factors. First, the coin must be authentic, with error features that are verified by top-tier grading companies like PCGS or NGC. Second, it must be in exceptional condition, ideally graded MS67 or higher, which means it looks virtually untouched by circulation. Third, the error or anomaly must be not only unique but also dramatic enough to stand out even among other known error coins from the same year. And fourth, the historical timing of the sale and the collector interest must peak at just the right moment, often influenced by media coverage, public auctions, or high-profile endorsements from numismatic authorities. And in the case of the legendary $76 million quarter, all these stars aligned perfectly, creating a once-in-a-lifetime event that may never happen again but has nonetheless set a precedent that keeps collectors scouring every 1979 quarter they come across in hopes of finding the next big discovery. And some believe that there are still more of these rare era coins out there, just waiting to be discovered, tucked away in drawers, jars, or inherited collections, unrecognized for their true worth. And that's what makes this hobby so thrilling, the idea that something so valuable could be hiding in your home or passing through your hands unnoticed. And the 1979 quarter has become a symbol of that potential, a beacon for collectors to never stop looking. Always be curious, and always dig deeper into the details, because this isn't just about a quarter, it's about the thrill of discovery, the chase for the rare and extraordinary, and the knowledge that sometimes, what others see as ordinary might just be priceless if you know what to look for. So keep your eyes sharp and your magnifiers close, because the next time you spot a 1979 quarter, you might just be holding a piece of American minting history worth millions. And as you continue your collecting journey, remember that every coin has a story, and in rare cases like this one, that story can be so incredible, so unexpected, and so valuable that it transforms a single piece of currency into a legendary icon of the numismatic world. We're diving into one particular piece that's caused a huge buzz in the numismatic community, the 1990 D-quarter dollar from the United States, a coin that, against all odds and expectations, has fetched jaw-dropping figures in the collector's market, with one particular example reportedly reaching a mind-blowing value of $61 million, a stunning contrast to its humble face value of just 25 cents. Now, you might be wondering how a simple quarter, minted in the tens or even hundreds of millions, could possibly be worth tens of millions of dollars. The truth is, this coin's astronomical value doesn't come from gold or silver content, because as we know, modern quarters are made from copper-nickel-clad material without any precious metals. The key instead lies in a combination of factors: rarity, errors, minting anomalies, and the unpredictable world of coin collecting, where a mistake by the US Mint can transform an everyday object into a legendary collector's item. The 1990 D-quarter that we're talking about isn't just any ordinary quarter. It was struck at the Denver Mint, as denoted by the D Mint mark, which usually appears on the right side of Washington's bust, just above the date. While hundreds of millions of these were produced for general circulation, collectors and experts have identified that a few extremely rare examples contain extraordinary errors that separate them entirely from the rest of the batch. These errors could range from misaligned dies, off-center strikes, planchette errors, double strikes, incorrect metal composition, or even the omission or misplacement of the mint mark itself. Imagine finding a coin with a mint mark that was struck twice, or better yet, one where the mint mark was completely missing but the date and rest of the coin remained intact. These types of anomalies cause shockwaves in auctions because they signify one thing: extreme rarity. When coins are struck with such errors, and even more so when these errors are undocumented or previously undiscovered, they become the holy grail for collectors. In some cases, an error may be so rare that only one known example exists, and when that happens, the sky's the limit when it comes to value. That's precisely what's been whispered in the numismatic underground about this particular 1990 D-quarter dollar. One story tells of a 1990 D-quarter that not only had a significant double die error on both the obverse and reverse, but also was struck on a planchette intended for a different denomination entirely. Imagine a quarter-size coin, but with a weight and metallic composition that doesn't match standard quarters. It might have come from a foreign planchette, or one intended for a commemorative coin. That alone would make it incredibly desirable. But then add to that an error such as a missing mint mark, a feature more common in the infamous 1982 and 1983 no-mint mark Roosevelt dimes, and you've got a recipe for a historic coin. These types of minting errors are extremely difficult to replicate, and if the coin has survived in excellent condition, say, a grade of MS67 or higher, it becomes not just rare, but essentially unique. In coin collecting, condition is everything. A regular 1990 D-quarter in worn, circulated condition might only be worth face value. But an uncirculated example with rare errors, high grading, and a fascinating backstory might be considered one of one, absolutely unique, never to be seen again. That's what gives it the potential to command millions. And in the high-stakes world of elite coin collecting, where ultra-wealthy investors and collectors compete for prestige and legacy, uniqueness can be worth any price. To understand how such value is possible, you also have to understand that coins can become symbols. This 1990 D-quarter may not be historically significant in terms of US events, but the idea of a modern coin achieving such notoriety captures imaginations. And let's not forget about provenance. If the coin has a verified, traceable history of being owned by famous collectors or appearing in renowned auctions, its perceived value skyrockets. It becomes not just a coin, but a story, a mystery, a trophy, a legendary piece that connects error, chance, and discovery. Add to that the possibility that a very small number, perhaps only one or two, of these error coins were released accidentally into circulation, undetected by quality control at the Denver Mint. And now, for decades, collectors have been scouring their change, hoping to stumble upon that elusive prize. The magnitude of this search has built a kind of mythos around the 1990 D-quarter. As stories of high auction prices began to circulate, and rumors of a $61 million sale surfaced, more and more collectors began rechecking their coin jars, their piggy banks, their rolls of quarters from the bank, desperate to find just one. Could the value really be that high? In reality, while the majority of 1990 D quarters are common and will never be worth more than face value, the possibility, however slim, that a major minting error could catapult one coin into the realm of multi-million-dollar worth is what fuels this frenzy. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC become instrumental here. If a collector believes they have found a special 1990 D quarter, the first step is authentication. Grading agencies don't just grade condition, they verify authenticity, diagnose errors, and assign catalog numbers to known error types. A coin with verified error status and pristine condition can fetch massive interest at public auctions or private sales. And remember, the $61 million value attributed to the 1990 D quarter isn't something you'll see every day. It represents the perfect storm, a one-of-a-kind error, flawless condition, high demand, and an eager buyer willing to pay whatever it takes to own something that no one else on earth possesses. This is where the lines between numismatics and art collecting blur. Just as some art pieces fetch astronomical prices not just for their aesthetics but for their history, rarity, and cultural impact, rare coins like the fabled 1990 D quarter become more than currency, they become artifacts, investments, and legacies. So, the next time you come across your pocket change, take a closer look. Examine the date. Check the mint mark. Look at the surface for doubling, misalignment, odd metal sheen, or weight discrepancies. You could be holding something truly extraordinary. While the majority of us may never see such a coin, the fact that it exists, even possibly, gives every quarter a chance at greatness. And perhaps that's the real value, and not just in the coin itself, but in the thrill of the hunt, the chase for a modern-day treasure, and the community of collectors who share stories, tips, and excitement over every small discovery. So don't underestimate your spare change. Keep your eyes open, your mind sharp, and your curiosity alive, because you never know when the next coin you find could be worth more than your car, your house, or even a lifetime of savings. That's the wonder of numismatics, and the legend of the 1990 D quarter dollar, a coin that turned heads, challenged expectations, and proved that even a small piece of metal can hold a story big enough to shake the world.